You're listening to the JBW Podcast, the official podcast of jaysjournal.com and fansided.com. We are the official ballroom chat for everything Toronto Blue Jays baseball, from game highlights to rumors and all the stuff in between. Here's your host, Craig Borden, with co-host Jason Lyons and Liz McGuire. Now let's talk some Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Hello and good evening, Toronto Blue Jays fans. Welcome to Jaybird Watching. I am your host, Craig Borden, and we're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays. And what a crazy way to end a ball game. Jason Lyons, how the hell are you, buddy?
You know what? I'm good. Crazy busy night last night with the kids and trying to watch the game and all the rest of that stuff. Glad
how
all
many
the
trick-or-treaters?
Around 750 was the number,
God,
the soft number that was being bandied about last night. Anyways, so I mean, there's a lot to unpack with that game. I don't know what Barger's thinking in that situation. Even if it drops, he's not scoring no matter what. He's being thrown out at home.
Yeah.
So
I think it was the excitement of the play before that was still lingering in everybody's minds, personally, with Addison Barger. But can I just point this one thing out, Jason?
Hit me.
For the Dodgers to beat us in that game, it literally had to be a freak accident. I don't know if you saw Mark DeRosa on the Major League Baseball Network today, but he was sitting there like throwing a ball at the base of that freaking fence as hard as he could, and it just bounced off every time. It does not stick like that. We literally had to have an act of the baseball gods keep us from tying that game.
And I guess who knows,
that ball
right?
Kicks. Exactly.
Yeah,
at least, at a minimum, Barger's on third.
Yeah, I would think that he probably would have got a double. I mean, he could have maybe pushed it into a triple, but the center fielder for the Dodgers was right on it. Like, I mean, he was right there. And kudos to him for not doing anything, for not touching it. And because I was watching. So there's two plays this year. The Jays had one of them when they played the Reds, and the ball bounced and got stuck in the gateway door. Mm-hmm. And because Nathan Lukes played the ball, that it was considered to be a live ball. It wasn't lodged.
Correct.
He pulled it out. So, I mean, had he touched it at all, then, maybe we're talking about a different thing, because, I mean, Barge was home. That's the amazing thing is even
Barger was on a horse, man.
Like, who was on base?
It was it was Miles Straw, because Alejandro Kirk got plunked.
Straw said that he turned around expecting to see Barge sliding into three, and he's like right behind him crossing home,
nipping at his heels, going go.
Again, to Barger's credit on that play, had any other ruling been made, he's home, right? Because you have to finish the play if he
home,
right. If he had stopped at third or anything like that, or half-assed it through to let's just say hypothetically they would have said, they go, okay, you get one base from where that went in. I mean, he was already halfway home. So,
and like I said, it had to be an act of the baseball gods. Ernie Clement swinging at a first pitch and missing the meat of the barrel by the littlest of margins to make the first real out. And then obviously the double play where he was doubled up at second base. It was the craziest of events I've seen end a Major League Baseball game in a long time, let alone a World Series game 6. Because to me, we were this close to having another 18 inning, like long, crazy, oh my God, epic thing going on. And it was taken away from us as baseball fans.
It had the feeling, but I mean, I almost feel like the Jays had started to reel them in a couple of innings earlier and had some bad luck.
Yes,
it was one of those weird games. Like, I think John Schneider put it really well last night when he was talking. It was like game 2. It just felt weird. There was all kinds of weird energy. There was, weird stuff happening, weird plays. And so, this is why they make it a 7-game series, right? Like, I mean,
exactly.
You have to be able to sometimes sacrifice to the baseball gods. And that was our sacrifice. I mean, we got it back with George's home run, not that long ago. So, time for it to swing back in our favor, I feel like.
Yeah, and I think that's where we got to focus the rest of this, because we got plenty of things going on. I don't think this is the Blue Jays definitely aren't taking this as a blow. They are still coming to the ballpark, everything I've seen on the MLB Network and everything all day, to the point where they're very hyped up. They're ready to go, and they have Captain Intensity on the mound today in the personification of all things crazy on the bump, Max Scherzer. Jason, how confident are you with hopefully history repeating itself tonight?
Well, I think that Max offers us a really, really, really interesting way to start this game. I mean, obviously the Mad Max thing, the craziness that he has, the insanity, the intensity, all of that stuff. I feel like that's necessary to get through the Dodgers order at least once. So if Max is cruising, if he is pitching the same way that he pitched the other night, I don't see him going too much farther than that. Maybe a second time through the roster, but I don't think they want Show to have a third look at him if it comes up to that. I also feel like Bassett has their hitters tied up in knots right now. So I mean, if we look at it at its most impressive, I think we're looking at Max coming out of the chute like a crazy bull. I think if we can pump 2 innings of Mad Max, just get every drop of Psycho out of him. If he can get into 3, fantastic, because we can to allow, or we can go to Bassett, and both of them have been owning the Dodgers batters.
Exactly.
The Dodgers only got 5 hits last night. Like, I mean, it's not like they blew the doors off. Mookie had if you go back and look at that hit, that is an unbelievable piece of hitting. He drops his elbow, manages to get the barrel to it, and still puts it through the infield. It's crazy how good of a hit that is. And I mean, Gossman was unbelievable. Varland, good. Everybody was good. I mean, it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't a poorly played game. It was just a couple of Chris Randall that I coach with, he often says it's the team that makes the least amount of errors that wins. And the Jays, not physical errors, but I mean, like should they have had Clement in as far as they had him on that Mookie hit? Because they did have him in protecting, but I mean, really, it's only a 1-run game at that point. So why wouldn't he be at least at mid, or I would have probably had him at full depth if it was me, because you still have an opportunity to make a play at 3. And if he's that far in, it's almost impossible for him to go backwards. So you're taking away their ability to score a run by hoping you can get a double play. Now, like you said, 6 inches to the left, 6 inches to the right. It's either in Jimenez's glove or it's in, and the same with that hit down the line that I mean, Vladdy just flat out missed that thing, and he doesn't miss anything. Timed the jump well. Jump looked good. I saw it from 3 different angles. He had the ball. It just turned on him just at the last second. So I feel like there was some weirdness in the air. I'm not a huge fan of Halloween, and I feel like sometimes that kind of mojo. And can we just state for the record, to the old man who was standing behind home plate having a stroke for the entire game, if you can afford to sit there, just sit down. Don't act like an idiot. Don't be doing do you not think that a professional pitcher in the majors is being at all affected by you? It's just ridiculous. You look like an idiot.
To that point, don't anger the baseball gods.
Right. And stop showing me stuff.
Exactly.
Why do I have to keep saying this? Don't.
Hockey's on pause.
Yeah.
Hockey's on pause. But on that note, Jason, so I agree with you that the best team usually is the one that has the least errors. And in this series in general, the Dodgers have done some really silly things too. It wasn't just the miscues. It wasn't this. It was even like Teoscar having that one that we were talking about the other night in Game 5. Hit that one where he probably should have laid up for it, and it turns into a Varsho triple.
Yeah.
Those kind of things like that have been happening all over. The Blue Jays have been on the winning side of that whole thing, I think, as a team and collectively throughout this series. But tonight, it is the last time to tighten everything up, do what they've been doing. And like I said, I'm damn hoping that history repeats itself. Everybody forgets that Max Scherzer was the one that started that Game 7 for the Washington Nationals when they won their World Series 6 years ago. It doesn't seem like it was only that recent. It feels like it was like an eternity ago that Juan Soto wore a freaking Nationals jersey, and Bryce Harper had just become a Philadelphia Philly, all those kind of things. But I feel like the Ducks are in a row. In worst case scenario, these Toronto Blue Jays are going to go out guns blazing, because boy, there is nothing left to be. Rip the stop signs out, nothing but gas, no brakes tonight, my friend.
No, and I feel like that was starting to happen in that game. I felt like the pedal had been pushed down a little bit harder. like it's interesting to me to watch, Vladdy, and how cool is he rolls in, I'm not sure if you call her captain, because she is definitely Captain Clutch, but Poulin's jersey from Team Canada,
That's
like
great.
super cool. It's one of those things where even today I was watching some of Vladdy looks exactly the same as he did yesterday, and he's mad. He's mad about yesterday. He's mad that he's
very mad.
He didn't, he felt like you can tell when he feels like he doesn't have impact on a game, and a game that important, he feels like he should have his stamp on. I feel like we're going to see a different Vladdy. I think we're going to see, just ruthless baseball. And I mean, let's be honest. I mean, Shohei is pitching. If I paid somebody $700 million, I'd want him to pitch in the most important game of the year too.
And on that one, it makes more sense, because the problem with the Major League Baseball rules in this whole situation is if Shohei came in relief, he would actually be gone as a batter too.
Well, see, and I feel like this is something, they have to address. I mean, you can't just have one rule for one guy. It's just him. Like, no one else is affected by that rule at all.
But he's the golden goose, man. It's like also, Sidney Crosby with the NHL. You got to make sure you don't touch him.
He's also at the end of this year, and I watched the whole thing on this. He's going to be exposed at the end of this year for all of those gambling allegations that they claimed were his interpreter. This guy that's blowing the whistle on all those leagues. I mean, he actually has he has proof, and he's willing to show it. And so I mean,
last ride.
Maybe. I mean,
sell those baseball cards now, party people.
Get loaded up. I don't know, man. I feel like I don't feel any different. I was just saying that I feel a little bit more nervous today. I certainly didn't feel all that nervous yesterday. I certainly do realize the weight of this, and I just hope that the Jays last night, and I think that streaker or the guy that ran on the field was very ill-timed. And I mean, I didn't even, how do you get on a major league field anymore? Like, there's
why would you pay that much money to run out there with an American flag and be that fucking stupid in a World Series game?
Yeah.
It just makes zero sense. And not to mention, you talk about angering the baseball gods.
Yeah, it's
there you go,
man. It was crazy, and it took a long time to deal with, and I just felt like it was a little bit much. But that being said, I mean, it's I feel like the Jays are relaxed. I feel like they're loose. I feel like this game is theirs to absolutely win. And now that it's sort of, that narrative of having a guy run out with an American flag, I've been, I hate this part of sport, but again, I had to drive the kids to something this morning, and I was listening to Major League Baseball on Sirius, and they are so insanely biased. It's actually, and they're starting to feed a little bit more and more and more of this Canada versus USA thing, and they should be ashamed of themselves. I listened to them today, and they're like, just the negativity around the Jays. They're like, oh, they look scared. They bring on the guy that owns the Dodgers to talk to him. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is just commercial for the Dodgers. Like,
hey, so we're back to being the underdog. That's where we're comfortable anyways, Jason, as far as that whole piece goes. But to your point, it is so blown out of stupid proportions, and it's because of dumbasses in certain places in my country.
I mean, I do have my Canadian flag underpants on. I mean, but that means nothing. I wear those every day.
Literally wearing a sweatshirt, blatantly blazing, and I wore this all around town today. Just saying. So, and then that's still my favorite thing, because the stupid things like that. Walking around here in Rochester, I'm spoiled because I just feel like everything is just so close in this whole Niagara, Ontario region. Anyways, everybody's going, go Blue Jays and stuff like that as I'm walking around wearing all this stuff. It's just weird to even know this piece of it until you turn on the TV, or like you said, on Sirius XM. It's just wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at 5 a.m. to be on the news again up there with you on CBC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the third time. I couldn't believe it. Apparently, I'm on the this dumbass is awake at 6 o'clock in the morning speed dial. So
there you go. There you go. Anyways, I mean, it's and I will say this though for the MLB Network and like Dan Plesac, and there's a couple of guys that I've really started to follow a little bit more. And I mean, Plesac is great. It's and there are certainly a few of them that are really, really, really good. And
the beautiful thing is Plesac is he played with the team too, just like Mark DeRosa had his year with us. DeRosa has always been one of the funnest guys on the MLB Network, and all these guys, he gets it. But so many of them are just like, oh my God. But think of how many guys on the MLB Network had been Blue Jays: DeRosa, Plesac, Al Leiter, Kevin Millar. It's like, it's nuts. This is why MLB Network is actually not bad to watch for Blue Jays news, but a lot of other things, holy God, it's this freaking John Heyman who made his first, it sounds like, in the world ever up to Toronto to go see a Blue Jay game.
Yeah, I don't know some of it, but I mean, I think that we, like, this is the most exciting thing in sports. I mean, there is nothing. This is like last night, it was only one team was going home. Now the potential is, it just exhausts. I've got friends who flew out this morning from Vancouver to Toronto that are going to the game. I've had lots of people, sort of in my outer circle that have, our good friend Liz has lucked out and got herself a ticket. That's why she's not here today. I mean, I'd rather be with you, Craig, than I've been going to the game. But
So on that note, the last time Liz was at a game was game 1. Just saying.
They won. I feel like, and now like they're like, if you're watching Twitter or any of the other, they're like showing, like Yama is up and throwing like he would potentially pitch today. I mean, I think it's ridiculous to think that he would. I don't think that
18 inning game.
I know, but you have to think of some of the arm health at some point. Like, I mean, winning is important, but the Dodgers are loaded. They're so talented. You don't need to pull that kid who just pitched so well yesterday.
Although I will say this, I'm going to go rewind a minute to when you were talking about being scared. I think that is very telling that they're even toying with that idea.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because that just shows how fudged their bullpen is. Meanwhile, it
shows that there's
Bassett.
True respect and fear. True respect and fear shows itself in weird ways. I feel like Dave Roberts, his calm demeanor and all this stuff, he's scared. And I keep saying this over and over again. Like, the Dodgers have been they've been to the World Series 5 of the last 9 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a bit old hat for them. Like, I mean, they're still excited. They still want to win a championship. Championships are championships. And I know they want to, sort of solidify what a lot would consider to be a dynasty, a paid-for dynasty, but a dynasty nonetheless.
Hey, how is it any different than what the Yankees did in the early 2000s?
It isn't.
Just
nothing.
saying.
And for Dave Roberts to come out and say, I've lost a lot of respect for Dave Roberts in this final. I think after it's done, I'll probably go back to respecting him quite a bit. But to say that we're the team that's killing baseball and we're happy to do it, like that kind of stuff, like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I feel like it's not only is it unnecessary, but it's just like you said, like, you can't piss off the baseball gods. In
the regular season, sure, fine. You got 162 games to worry about angering the gods.
Yeah,
but you are down to the literally do or die. There's going to be one way or the other. There's a champion this evening. And you are doing stupid things like just bitching about airports and all this kind of crap. And it's just so wild to even think of. And to your point, I had plenty of respect, but I got a little bit of respect back the other day because, this is the baseball god thing in a nutshell as far as karma goes. Did you see the video of Dave Roberts at Sky Dome yesterday running the bases and
going head first?
Practice and just
going head first? Yeah, just biting it. Yeah.
What's he out there running for?
Yeah.
You got how many guys? Just trying to live the 2004 World Series again, or American League Division Championship Series again?
Yeah, I mean, it was funny to watch him fall. I'll say that. And back to what we were talking about with Vladdy's confidence and his swag and all the rest of that stuff. So just so the listeners, some of you might not know who Marie-Philippe Poulin is. She's a 3-time Olympic gold medalist. She scored the game-winning goal for 3 different gold medal wins. She scored the gold medal goal in an OT winner in 2014 and 2021. She's the second all-time scorer in Olympic scoring for hockey history, and she's the reigning PWHL MVP. So it's not the worst tarp to wear in if you want to put some good mojo into the room. I was also watching some of Ernie Clement's high school hockey videos again. They keep popping up and they make me smile. To quote Liz, they make me happy.
Yeah, make me happy. And that was a fun game. I don't care what anybody says. So it was fun. So very, very cool. So we got about 10 minutes if we're going to stick to our normal, 30-minute here, whatnot. Right now we got our wonderful buddy Mike in Toronto, who has got to be one of our top customers at this point. Felt bad for Barger getting doubled off. Felt bad for Springer because he was just sitting there on deck. That was, I think, the most hurtful part out of that whole thing, to Mike's credit, because it's like, okay, great. Even if they got one out, you had the guy that you could have like cherry picked out of a lineup and said, that's the one I want up there. And he was just sitting there.
Yeah. I mean,
with a bat in hand, man.
You're a baseball player. I'm a baseball player. I'm a baseball coach. We all know that Barge was too far off there. I mean, he's not scoring no matter what happens.
One step.
One step. And for me, I think that's the worst part, is thinking inside your head, okay, they catch that ball, Barge gets back. You're still sitting with 2 runners on and an opportunity to score. And I'm with Mike. I felt really bad for Barge, but I will say this, and I think this speaks a ton to the Jays as a team and to what we're going to see today. Barge was totally fine with it. He's like, yeah, I screwed up, man. He's like, I got aggro. I saw a ball going down. He said, I saw it going down. It was going over my shoulder. And I thought to myself, if that hits the ground and I've got a chance to score, I got to try. And, John Snyder said basically the same thing. He's like, he's a young guy. He saw a tie game potential, and 100, 99 out of 100. I want that kind of aggression. I want that kind of play. I mean, what Rojas had to make I still can't believe he held on to that ball, like behind his leg, and he's falling over to keep him. It's a great play. Kike made a terrible throw. And secondarily, Kike is playing in a weird spot for Jimenez that just happened to work perfectly. Like, he was too shallow, and they actually showed that he was more shallow than he'd been in the other games. And I don't know if he just had a bad read or if he was just in the wrong spot, but it ended up being the really right spot. But I mean, that's baseball.
You didn't read the card right.
Yeah, that's baseball. Like, I mean, even last night when I had a full house of people here and there were some people that were upset and, and everyone was like, why are you so calm? And I'm like, well, it's baseball. It happens. Like, I mean, it could have gone 100 different ways that inning. And, it happened to pick that one way, and we're blessed with a game 7. These guys can lay it all out on the line and just really give us everything that we've paid for this year. Win, lose, or draw. And I know draw is not possible, but win or lose. I mean, I'm hoping that the listeners and the people we have subscribed and are all of our loyal people out there, just be proud of this team. They've overcome a lot. They are certainly not talent-wise equal to most of the teams they have to play against. They've been fighting way over their weight class. Are we potentially going to lose a couple of guys next year? Yeah, we are. But we've got a core. Baseball. Yeah, we've got a core that's going to be around for a couple more years, and they now know how to win. And I think that's going to be the big difference moving forwards is, this is a Jays team that now knows how to win. They know what they have to do. They've got most of the pieces that I think they want in place. A healthy Santander next year. Who knows what that does for them?
You get Barrios back.
Yeah, Barrios. You get
we haven't even seen, because there's the first time out of all the times he's been healthy and beat up and everything throughout his career. What horrible timing for him to get his first injury in Major League Baseball and miss his first IL time. Lamnikina, unfortunately, broke the mechanism for the first time.
Yeah. But it's it is what it is, and this is why we love it so much. I mean, I've been looking at people last night walking their kids while they were trick-or-treating, and they've got gen packs and a TV in a wagon, and they're hauling it along with the game going on it. And like there's a couple where some of the, like in Saskatchewan and some other places, on some of the really large square grain elevators, there's people been throwing the game up like 60 by 60 on these things. Like,
our friend Mo Freeney, they had the watch party.
Dunedin watch party.
And the Dunedin watch party. That was still, I love the pictures. We reposted a lot of them on our Twitter feed. So check that out, because that was just so cool to see how much fandom there is for this team, and is not going to go away. And I do think that whole thing, regardless of how tonight turns out, I'm hoping with a win, and I think they have a very damn good chance at that, Jason, because there's going to be the Rogers Center bumping behind them. But on that note, it's just, I think there's just so many good things for this team going forward, and it's going to be incredible things going on. This could be the start of our dynasty with how much money gets thrown into this team with what they've seen over the last, season as well. That's definitely sent a message to Rogers from the people that this is where you got to put your money, and this is how you win team ball games as well.
Well, I mean, I think, it's been coming for a while, and I'm glad to see it happen. I'm glad to see that Rogers has been able to witness this. And I know that every time that cash register rings in Rogers over the last 182 games or however many they've played, this country is starving for something like this. And, even if we don't get it this year, I think that Rogers finally has the vision to say, okay, well, let's make this a winning team for a couple of years here and really try and get as much out of Vladdy and Bo as we possibly can. And now the additional pieces that are being added on, I think it's just fantastic.
This is a hell of a look for a great team and a great franchise and a great nation to be following this wonderful ball club. So I want to get to a last few minute things here, Jason, as we want to talk bold predictions and whatnot. I do got to say hi to brother Bob File on the feed over there. I see you, buddy. Let's go.
What's up, Cabinet?
Ball, I see you joining in. We got to get you back on the show at some point too. We greatly appreciate you for taking a peek in here. And then I got to say this one wonderful quote that I got from, funny enough, another Blue Jay American fan here. One way or the other, I don't have to listen to John Smoltz do a baseball game for at least a few months. So I'm very happy with that. That is a wonderful point, that I don't have to listen to Joe Davis and John Smoltz after this evening, one way or the other.
I like John Smoltz. I always like John Smoltz, and I don't know I don't know. It seems weird. It seems like he's taken a bit of a turn. I don't know, heel turn. To use a wrestling term, he's heel turning.
Gotta get him back to being like, John Cena only did that for like 3 seconds during his farewell tour here. I got to get the old school John Smoltz back, because I liked John Smoltz. I used to like listening to John Smoltz. And I don't know, maybe it was just the Game 5 thing that he was literally rambling on about Clayton Kershaw at a key point in the game at the end of the game. And I'm like, dude, please stop stroking the Dodgers. You're losing this game.
Well, I mean, I feel
that was
like
maybe how I thought it was.
So, I mean, we're very lucky. The Sportsnet broadcast is fantastic. And I will say this for those of you, if you can't watch the game and you're in Canada, Sportsnet 650, I believe it is. I think that's where you can stream it. Well, I think you can get it on any of them. Any of the Sportsnets, you can stream it. The radio guys for Canada, the guy is Pablo Picasso with a microphone. He paints the most incredible pictures every single time. His excitement.
Dan's kid, Ben?
Is it? Yeah, it might be Ben Schulman.
Yeah, it's Ben Schulman.
Yeah, it is.
Ben Schulman.
And he just does a fantastic job. So kudos to you, Ben. And I know that Dan I saw Dan sneaking in on our, Dan's responded to me a couple of times on Twitter. So I know he's been checking us out. So
otherwise, we got to get our buddy Jamie back in the off season so we can hear another Dave Winfield pigeon story.
Yes,
our Seagull story
for sure.
So, Jason, 3 more minutes. Talk to me here. Bold prediction. Who do you think is going to be the pick to click for this evening?
I am sticking with the same. I'm sticking with my same pick from last night. I feel like he has the opportunity. He has the weight of the city on his shoulders, and I feel like Bo Bichette is going to have a game. He looked way better at second. His mobility is back quite a bit. I even feel like it might be one where somebody busts one into the gap and he's on 2, and he full on is running home with as as much limp as you can get, and a nice big cloudy slide into home, and
a Donaldson dash is in the Bo Bichette future, huh?
The Willie Mays Hayes from second base.
There you go. Sucker. So I'm gonna go with there's 2 gentlemen that I think are gonna, if I'm gonna quote Eric Rosenheck, our buddy that's always on the show, the Heck. If you were gonna write a storybook ending to this World Series, you talk about the guy that won the game 1 with the grand slam, Addison Barger.
Oh, Barge.
You talk about all the things that went right for him this whole series. He finally gets dinged with, literally, like we were talking about, 1 step too many, Jason. Yep. He's going to have a moment. The baseball gods did him dirty.
Yeah, he's pissed too. He's pissed too. If you throw him a ball in the zone that he makes contact with, it may blow a hole in the back of the stadium.
It could be a very Sandlot moment where he actually rips the cover off one.
Just vaporizes one.
Yep. So, or it's going to be very natural, like where the lights just go out. So, anyways, I think he's the one that I'm going to, there you go. I'm giving this shout out for Eric Rosenheck, the Heck, for that one. And my pick is Ernie Clement was so ready for that at bat in the 9th. And he just looked like he was so geared in, ready to go.
Just missed it.
Just missed the barrel, man.
That's baseball.
It curved in like about this much and got the handle instead of the meat of the bat. We're like we were talking about with Bob and everybody else we've had on this show. Game of inches. Todd Stommler even said it the other night. Game of inches.
Yep.
And that could have been the difference in the game too. And Ernie has been clutch. And I think if you aren't having the performance you have from Vlad Jr., you're talking about Ernie Clement potentially being the MVP of this World Series when we win it.
Yeah. So. I mean, I like I said yesterday, I feel like it's hard to not give it to Vlad, but I feel like depending on what happens today, that could, like if somebody has a big moment today, then that will change those things significantly. I'm really hoping that one of the guys that has legged it out with this team for as long as they has a moment today, or at least is provided with the opportunity to. I just I feel like the whole team's ready to explode. It's like the big win they had when they just kept relentlessly smashing the ball. Like I feel like that's what's coming. I'd be okay with a 4-1 win, but a 10-1 win is better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that whole thing. And honestly, with the way the baseball ball has been just bouncing around and everything the last few days, months, whatever the hell it is, it would be really fun to just watch the Blue Jays unload and everything. All that frustration from the end of the game last night. All the things they were not able to do against Yamamoto, but they did a lot better against him. I just can't imagine preparing for a guy like him that has 5 A+ level pitches. It's just insane.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he has been incredible, and to his credit, as Japanese pitchers haven't in the past been the most sort of. I know that Ryu was, and I feel like Ryu, sort of paved the way for some of these guys to be a little bit more open and a little bit more fun and a little bit more. Apparently, he's out with the boys like all the time. He's always hanging out. He's in the club. He's
like Kershaw's BFF too at one point.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that probably had something to do with it as well, because Kersh seems to be a pretty good dude. But I'm ready for a hell of a game tonight, man. I really am. My son has a hockey practice, so we're going to go and watch the start of it from Steamworks, or one of our favorite places to watch it from. The place will be packed. I'm just excited. I want to get it going now.
Blue Jays fans, get loud, get angry, get crazy, do all the above. Get Maxi as far as Mad Max level is going. Tonight is the night we all leave it out on that field. And if you're in the dome with Liz this evening, get loud. Let this be furious. Let them not think you are the 27th members of this ball club. Get them on their heels and let's go. This is where it's supposed to be. There is nothing after tomorrow, and that's the first time in a long time, Jason, that my mental scape that we were talking about, it is the last game. They have to put it all out there. So on that, Blue Jays fans, thank you for the 100 or so of you that were in here. We saw you, love you. We will talk to you soon. We will be back on the show one way or the other at a minimum. Maybe there's a celebration show in there. We don't know yet. I haven't thought that far ahead yet because we're winging it just like all of you are. Wednesday evening, we will be with our friend @NotGayetti from Twitter to talk all things crazy, weird baseball stats and obviously plenty of Blue Jays baseball. So tune in and we will talk to you soon. Let's go, Blue Jays.
Woo! Thank you for listening to the Jaybird Watching Podcast. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch @BirdwatchingGC and our YouTube channel. If you want to support the show and get extra content, please consider joining to our Patreon at patreon.com/birdwatchinggc. Go Jays, go.
Woo!